Welcome everyone to the very first episode of GameSetPadel, the podcast that's all about the sport that we can't stop talking about and that we can't stop playing. Whether you're new to the sport or you're just obsessed as us, this is going to be the podcast for you. I'm Shaher. I'm joined by all my paddle buddies and obsessed paddle fanatics as well. I'll get everyone here to introduce themselves. Moustafa, do you want to start?
So my name's Moustafa. I'm a corporate. Sometimes I think I'm an entrepreneur. I'm in my 40s. I'm 43 actually, and I still think I'm a paddle expert. Got addicted to it, fell in love with the sport, and now I'm a tragic. From paddle tennis of playing, we now set up a podcast. That's how good we think we are. Not let alone, as Ali was saying, our wives will not be too happy with us. But what happened with your wife, Ali?
Well, my name's Ali. I'm from Sydney. As everyone knows, the best city in Australia, despite me being outnumbered with a couple of Melbourners here. I'm 38. I'm an accountant. Also, same as Musti, I absolutely love paddle. And my missus, it's a break away from me when I play paddle, but now she thinks I play too much, so it's sort of gone a little bit that way.
Oh no, 5 or 6 days is a bit of a long break, man.
7 days,
okay.
man. 7 days, sometimes training. It's gone up to 8 or 9 days.
Like it's got to a point that, every time he loses against me, his wife kicks him out. She won't let him in the house. So that's the truth.
And that's Moustafa.
Just a snippet?
Just a snippet. My name's Youssef. Been in Dubai now for 8 years, 36 years old, in the corporate world as well. And again, paddle addict, we started all together.
Are you the best paddle player?
I'm definitely the best paddle player
Number
here.
one,
that's what I think anyway. That's what I associate myself with.
Perfect. So I'll come back to me. So I'm Shaher. I'm from Sydney, though I was actually born in Abu Dhabi. So I have a connection to the city. I've been here for about 8 years. And I've been playing paddle for about just over 2 years, I think. And honestly, it has been a bit of an obsession. I used to play soccer a lot, and as soon as I started playing paddle, I just cancel soccer just so I can play paddle. So that's kind of where we're all at, I think. But maybe you can tell us a bit about how you got into paddle, Moustafa. Like, how did you hear about it, and what were your thoughts when you first learned about the sport?
Can I first say, although we play paddle, we set up a paddle podcast, we are still shit. I just want to make that clear. We think we're experts. Yeah. We've probably got all the paddle gear you can think of. We only speak about it, but we're trying to be experts. Even though I'm the only one that's sponsored from this group. But we'll get on to that on another day.
We'll talk about it. You paid off a few people, but that's another story.
There you go. You're surrounded by haters. I don't know. You know what's funny? In every paddle group, there's a certain personality, right? You got the one that always loses, but he'll come back and say, "We're so close, I want revenge." Ali Shaker. You've got the one that will turn up every day. He'll come in, he'll come out, and all I keep saying to him is, "You ran well on the court." Youssef Tutunji. And then you have Shaher, who just introduced himself as playing paddle for 2 years. By the way, it was 4 years. But they're one of those blokes that will come and say, "I haven't played for 3 months." But they've been training.
Trying to find that about your story.
I've introduced you all. And these are my paddle buddies.
Hold on a second. How did you find out?
Answer the question.
Funny story is, I actually found out about paddle from these guys. So I was a squash player. I loved my sports, played volleyball, played squash, cricket, etc.
So none of the real sports, just
all the
ones.
real hard sports, right? Squash was like the real sport. Anyway, and then I come back. I left Dubai. I came in 2012. Left in 2019, came back after COVID, and the guys are like, "You have to play paddle." So I quickly Google it, look up, YouTube it, and I'm like, "Nah, man, that's for wussies. I'm not going to play this. I play squash." And they're like, "Please, just come, just try it, come." So I gave in one day, and I went, and I've become a paddle tragic.
Let me guess, you've never lost a match since?
I haven't lost a match since. Everyone wants, I've got a list of people that want revenge. And that goes into cities, not just in Dubai. Even when I go to Melbourne, there's like a whole list. Maybe it's got to do with the banter or the shit still. I don't know.
You've got two lists, right? List of revenge and the list of people that have banned you from playing with them because of how many times you've...
He's also got his own stories in his head that don't match up with reality.
I think we can have a whole episode about Moustafa's journey through paddle and maybe how you got to sponsorship. That would be an interesting one.
My story is completely opposite to Musti. I was smoking shisha 5 times a day. My missus is like, "I've had enough of it. We've got to find something for you to do." She booked us a paddle couples one where we did training for one day. I thought it was the dumbest thing ever. I absolutely hated that. I said to her, never again. Then a couple of my friends are like, let's play paddle. Let's play paddle. I got convinced, played once, played twice, and been obsessed ever since.
I don't think your friends asked you to play paddle. I think she kicked you out.
Well, the thing is, it was either stop shisha and play a sport.
So, out of interest, how long ago was that?
That was approximately around 2 years
A
ago.
couple of years ago. And you obviously never heard about paddle in Australia.
Never, not
Right,
like I honestly thought it was a cheap knockoff of tennis.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
just somebody, for example, making a Temu version of a water bottle or something along those lines. I just thought it was a complete rip-off. And then you play once, you play twice, 3 times, and then all of a sudden,
Especially when you first see those rackets, you're like,
Yeah.
what is this?
it's like cardboard, right? You feel like, is this made out of
This
cardboard?
is
Is it
not a
going to break
tennis
in my
racket?
hand?
And you feel so easy. Well, anyway, we'll get into that. So, Youssef, what about you, mate? How did you get into
My
it?
stories are, again, we all came up in this paddle game together. I think it was Shaher who called me one day, and we've got a small community. We live close by, and he said, let's play paddle. So we did our research. We used to play squash all the time.
Yeah.
We did our research. We found 500 dirham rackets online. It was the only rackets to get in the region.
Yeah.
And Shah had bought a few rackets, and since then we've all been playing together.
So, I mean, I'll add to that. That's when we started playing it. It was about maybe 3 years ago now. We're in 2025. Time flies. But it was just after COVID, or
That's
a
right.
couple of years after COVID, we moved into a new community. And there was a paddle court just outside of our community. And I'd look at it and I'm like, what is this weird? I'm like, it's for tennis, but they don't want the balls to go out onto the street, right? Like that's what I thought. And then I started looking at it, and then I saw on the website they had something called paddle tennis. I'm like, it's its own sport. I started Googling it and I started telling Youssef, mate, this is its own sport. It's called paddle tennis. You can play off the walls, I started researching the rules. And then I thought, okay, yeah, let's play. We've got nothing else to do. And like you said, we used to play squash a lot. And I used to play soccer a lot as well. I've never played racket sports, only squash maybe, and it was over COVID and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so that's how we got into it. And we just got on the court. We used to play one-on-one, if you
that's
remember.
right.
I used to be like, this is so tiring. You can't play one-on-one.
That's right.
And then you realize actually it's a
Actually,
team
we
sport.
first bought 2 rackets, and then we went and bought another 2
The
rackets
racket
again.
story is crazy. So there were no rackets available in Dubai in 2022, 2023. It was very hard to find them, or they're super
But
expensive.
they were sold out.
You just couldn't
just
find
couldn't
them.
Was
find
that
Like,
because the
Wow.
sport really took off, right?
No, I think it was
Or
just
no,
before
it
it
was
took
just
off.
starting.
Yeah, but
it was
there
just
wasn't
before it took off.
there
so
wasn't any shops. There
they
wasn't
would
any paddle.
sell out quickly, and they wouldn't have a lot of stock. So then I kept Googling research. I found this guy who's selling them from China. He gets these rackets from China, and we bought a couple for 500 dirhams. We bought a couple, then we're like, we need to play with 4 people. We bought a couple more, like, we'll just play with anyone.
Yeah.
At that point, we started introducing people to it.
Well, how many days a week do you play now?
I play, probably twice a week. I'd like to play a lot more, but there were
how
times
many
I played
times
4
do
or
you
5
really
times
play
a
a
week,
week?
to be honest.
How many times do you really play a week now?
This is probably the last
There's gonna
couple
be a
of
lot of
months.
these guys.
Before that, maybe 4 or 5 times a week was when we were at our peak, I think, before everyone got a bit busy. But the funny thing is, Moustafa, as well, you were saying that when you first saw it, you said, what is this wuss sport? I think everyone thinks that when they start playing paddle. They
Yeah.
think, this is great for the knees. You don't put a lot of pressure on your back. It's for old people. And I think that's how everyone really starts.
Even the guys in Oz, they were playing tennis, and they said, when we started telling them about it, they said we'd never play it. And now you go back there, and they're all playing it.
Well, that's
all the time.
reflected in what's happening worldwide. There's, I think, 25 tournaments a year over 16 countries. It's a yearly sport. It's so popular. You can't even get a ticket to some of the finals or the semi-final tournaments, and there's rivalries, and I think that's just reflected all
it's
over
the
the world.
fastest growing sport in the world right now, actually.
Well, not only sport. I actually got something to really say, and I truly believe it. I've been in the corporate world, right, for over 25 years, and I've seen that right around the world. And golf was always the corporate sport. I actually think now paddle is the corporate sport.
Yeah.
This is where you do business. It's social. You got 4 people. I really think it might be controversial, but I think paddle has taken over golf as the corporate
Well,
sport.
a lot of people don't know how to golf, right? So you're sitting there half the day hitting the golf ball left ball, golf ball right. You don't know how to score it. You're walking up and down with paddle a couple of hours. You get a better workout.
Not just that, the access to paddle is a lot easier than the access to golf. It's indoors, or specifically here in UAE, it's all indoor courts, whereas golf is outdoors. Not everyone wants to play golf. So.
Yeah.
And it suits all ages, all types of fitness levels as well. So
Definitely,
you can play against people that are less fit. You can play against people like me that are more fit. And you'll see that. Actually, the funny truth is the reason why these guys changed from squash is because I used to beat them in squash as well. So I think they tried to find a sport before I got into
That's
it.
definitely not true. We had some close. I'll tell you, mate. He's a good player. There's no doubt about it. But we had some close calls where we took over. Shaher, we won a couple of games of squash.
I don't think I ever played you in squash. Actually, I was playing before
Hey,
you
take it
came
easy. You
back.
definitely play.
I'm happy to play you now in squash.
Let's go.
I'm happy to play you now in squash.
Musti's about to lose the leg. He needs about 4 surgeries.
He's still
gonna
on
play.
his leg, but he still wants to play.
But honestly, so I've done MMA. I've done all these sports. I've very rarely ever injured myself. And then here I am thinking, this paddle tennis, I'm going to play paddle because it looks like less impact on the body. But it's not till you take it serious, you realize, I think I've never had more injuries in a sport than I've had in paddle.
Yeah, exactly.
What were you saying the other day when people were like, oh, it's a really easy sport? And
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when you start off, you think it's a really easy sport. And when you start playing, the games are like really, you're at the back, you're just kind of hitting it to each other. And you do feel like, did a bit of a workout and I'm not in pain or sore. But to be honest, once you start getting better, like we do, 1,000 calories per game?
Minimum.
Yeah, well, how many steps? Sometimes some games were 20,000 steps,
Yeah, I
15,000.
time my
You got to do
steps.
at least 10,000 steps or you haven't had a game.
Yeah.
Or if you haven't done 1,000 calories, you haven't had a good game. Like that's kind of where we're at. But when someone comes in and the first thing as soon as you talk about paddle, they're like, oh yeah, it's a great sport. It's easy on the knees. It's like, mate, you're a beginner.
You don't know what you're talking
later.
about. Wait till I see you at the surgeon's office and you're complaining about a torn meniscus or
the ones that just don't take it too seriously. I was talking to Steph about it before. The guys, we don't argue on the court. It's just very fun.
and then 6 months
And
later.
then 6 months later, I was speaking to a guy the other day. He's 6 months in and he goes to me, yeah, we started to fight on the court.
you know exactly. You can talk from experience because me and my wife, we like to play against him and his wife. And my wife has now banned me from being her partner because I'm so competitive and we're not going to win any money.
Alex,
we're not going to win a gold medal.
It's because you're shit.
No. I'm better. I'm good.
She kicked you out because she was better than you.
We argue about everything. We argue who's better, me or her. We argue about how many days a week she plays, how many days a week I play. What is more of a priority, her or paddle? Or me or paddle? Like we fight over everything.
So what's your full-time job, paddle or accountancy?
It's about 50-50 these days, man. I'm playing paddle 5-6 days a week.
I messaged him yesterday and I deleted it. And he's seen the message. He's like, bro, I can't play today. I'm like, yeah, that's why I deleted it because I can't play either.
My kids are crying. Dad, do you have to play paddle tonight? Just say no. You can just say no to your friends. And I'm like, that's a very good point. I can say no, but I don't want to say no.
This is what we're saying. It's a really addictive sport, but like I don't know. Like, what do you think? Like, why do you think you're addicted to paddle though? Like, why do you think you like it so much?
The competition, right? Like, you feel like you can improve with every match. You feel like you actually genuinely have fun, right? Like, for example, some sports, like I played basketball from a young age, soccer. I played soccer for 4 years. I didn't improve 1% in 4 years. Basketball, it's very hard to improve. Whereas paddle, it's you and I feel like it's a lot easier to improve and then you can see your progress. So like anything, starting a business, renovating your house, as soon as you start to see some progress, you become more of a fan. You become more addicted. You look forward to it more. So
How much is it? How much of it do you think is the environment, like the Dubai or the Abu Dhabi? Like UAE has a very unique paddle environment.
Definitely.
How much of it do you think the success of it is? Because in the early days, I used to think it was successful here because of the environment. It's all happening, beautiful courts, air conditioned. But now I'm seeing fastest growing sport in some European countries, North American countries, and they're really taking over all other sports. So it can't just be the environment, right?
Yeah, no. I mean,
But I think the UAE had a big position to do with the growth of paddle around the world. Because if you have a look at it before the UAE, yes, they were playing it, but no one had a real obsession over it. So
Because it had been around for a while.
It had been around for a while. I think it originated in Mexico. I was reading up the other day, and then it went to Spain.
I think Spain is where it got really popular.
Yeah.
It was in Spain, but somehow it originated.
yeah,
in
but
Mexico,
don't.
something like that.
I think
Or
from
Argentina.
memory, when Fazar started, sort of introduced the sport a little bit, that sort of kicked off, and then we had centers like WPA Open.
So His Highness the Crown Prince kicked it off, really, did he?
Well, I mean,
in the early days of COVID.
Well, yeah. So the thing is, I think maybe at the beginning it was a bit of a trend. Like you don't want to miss out. But now it's generally people, make it part of their fitness routine. And it's just a social thing. Even I saw an article the other day or a video where people are meeting each other like sort of dating on the paddle court, right? So you play paddle against the
Yeah,
opposite
I saw
gender, and you start talking.
People are finding their future spouses
but not
on
Musti.
the
If you
paddle
play with
court.
Musti, you're going to get hit with the ball. So not
You're
Musti.
definitely going to get hit
court.
with the ball.
But look, I mean, the social aspect, I think 100% is a big factor. And all the courts nowadays, they're all, giving you really nice aesthetics on the court, coffee shops, and just really nice
Workspaces,
vibes, music.
Pilates, right?
Exactly.
Gyms.
They're putting in, like there's some spaces that have cold, what's it called, ice baths and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like this integrated
It's
thing.
ease of access as well because it's so accessible around the UAE.
It's so accessible. It's indoor. You can play it throughout the year. And then when it's winter and you play outdoor, it's amazing. It's beautiful weather to play. So the social aspect's a big part. I think also, like you said, the improvement part. Like every time you play a game, you're like, I could play better the next time. I could play. And you just want to get back in there.
Yeah.
And you just want to keep playing. But I think that's why we keep getting
Steph
injured.
was watching us yesterday. Steph was watching us yesterday from a paddle court here in the UAE, and he was watching upstairs. And what were you telling us when you came down? You were talking about how we could have done better this and done this.
I was saying it's very different from being in the court playing versus spectating and watching.
Yeah.
And I used to tease the people that used to come with their videos, put their phones to record their games, thinking, man, are you for real? Like, you want to record your game? Now I realize why. You actually have a different perspective and you realize, where you can improve, where you can't improve.
Yeah.
But interesting that, yes, social aspect, there's a lot more couples now playing, great for fitness. Like, I even look at my gym routine. So before paddle, 2 years ago, I was probably 7 kilos heavier. Since doing paddle, and I average, if I was to take the average, it's 2 days a week, right? One comp, one social that we play between each other. I don't do any cardio at the gym. I just do weights. It substitutes the cardio for a full week, just those 2 games.
Were you doing cardio before though?
Yes, I used to do 20 minutes of bike.
Every day?
10 minutes of treadmill and then do my weights. And that was my 1 hour. Now, I only spend 30 minutes in the gym. I just do weights. Oh. And then at night, the 2 days a week, you can burn, there's some games where I get to 23,000 steps, 18 to 20 kilometers of running in a game.
That's crazy.
Wow.
And you'll burn of active calories, nearly 1,600 calories. So just the 2 games a week, and my food habit hasn't changed. I still eat a lot of junk and a lot of, I'm not like the most athletic person, but it offset, and I actually ended up decreasing my weight from the sport.
Yeah. Well, see, I've lost about 9 kilos in the last 3 months. I started playing paddle a lot more, obviously fixing up the diet a little bit, but it's just so much easier to stay fit when you are playing paddle because most of the games are 1.5 to 2 hours. And as Steph was saying, you burn a huge amount of calories. But see, also, I think what's contributed to the increased popularity in the sport is that there's apps like Premier Paddle. They have amazing apps where you can watch live. So you don't even really have to have a specific channel or specific subscription. And a lot of the players now have their own branded rackets. They've got their own branded merchandise. So people actually relate to them. So like, for example, I think the other day when we were playing in the comp, Tapia has his own special type of racket that Shaher
he's got the Knox.
And it looks amazing. It's fashionable. Yeah. So it's a lot easier to relate to the sport. And I mean, I come from a basketball background. And the first thing that basketball players do is buy the jerseys. And now the shoes are collectible. So that's slowly what's happening in paddle too. Yeah. People can relate, collecting merchandise, buying merchandise, following their favorite players. Each one has an Instagram page. So even the players themselves, like my wife had messaged after a tournament in Qatar saying, I think to Chingo, great match. And he replied back. It was him saying, thank you very much. What cool. Other sport with an athlete actually reply back to you? So even the players make the sport very accessible to the fans. They make you feel like you're part of the sport.
Yeah. And how many celebrities of other sports actually are playing paddle too?
Yeah, like Rafael Nadal. I saw Rafael.
You even have to look at the tennis players. Like you were saying, the tennis players are playing.
Didn't you have a match with Islam?
So we had Islam from UFC. We've had Pogba. We've had Chris Fade.
Paul Pogba.
So it's a very all-round sport. So long as you've had
Ali.
Oh, we had Ali Shaher.
Of course. You can't forget me.
Most popular person. But going back to, you're probably then wondering how we ended up doing this podcast. So none of us have any podcast experience. None of us are really professional paddle players, but we just love paddle so much. We thought, you know what, let's share it. Let's put it out there. I think it's a growing sport. I think it's getting interesting. Competitions are now, quite international.
Yeah. You can make money. You can make quite a living from it. Even the organizers make quite a living from the sport.
I think the owners are making really good. Like, you can't get a paddle court in Dubai.
That's right.
In
Not a
Dubai,
single court you can get.
how early do we have to book to get
you
our
got to
courts?
book a week in advance at least.
We drove on a Sunday morning, or from where I live in Dubai, almost 40 minutes, just because we wanted to play paddle, and it was an 8 a.m. match on a Sunday. Who's awake at 8 a.m.? But
Not a single
You
court.
guys.
Not a single
We're
court
paddle
available.
obsessed. Yeah, paddle obsessed.
I haven't reached that stage yet. The 8 a.m. courts.
On the weekends.
That's another level of addiction. Yeah, when you start playing 7,
Wait,
8
hold
a.m.
on. Do you remember the games we used to play back in Ramadan?
Oh yeah, okay.
So we'd go to the night prayer, and then we'd go to a place, a paddle court in, I think it was Motor City, down that side of town. And we'd stay to what, 2 a.m.?
Play 3-4 hour
2 a.m.?
games until.
The lady would say,
crazy.
listen, I'm just here because I'm waiting for my driver. The minute my driver comes, I'm closing up and leaving.
Look, we're definitely we're still very obsessed, but I think we're, like I said, your average is twice a week now, which is what, but I think we used to play way more and a lot longer hours. But again, the better you get and the more intense games you can't play a 3-4 hour game. You'll just get sore the next day. You'll get injured. But but on the podcast, I think what you're saying was true. Like, we love the sport so much. We actually, like, when we sit down together, probably 50 to 80% of our conversation is about our games, is about how we smashed each other. This guy did this amazing shot, or Moustafa smashed the guy with the ball as usual with one of his smashes.
Half the time I'm blaming my partner, and I'm not looking at the mistakes that I made. And then we're switching partners.
I'm trying to find new paddle courts to play that will let me play.
Getting banned.
Or the comps we're playing, and we talk about it a lot. So, like, you know what? Let's talk about it on a podcast. Let's share it with the world. Let's get people who aren't into it to know what it is, and people who are obsessed about it. Let's talk about it, and let's learn a bit more about it, and let's just play paddle, mate.
And I think back to Steph's point, so many conversations are coming out and coming about from paddle. So, like you said, it's a place to do business. It's a place to discuss
on the paddle court.
It's a lot more than just paddle.
Yeah.
Actually, it was funny you say that. I was at an offsite, and the group CEO of the company was talking about how I was playing Islam in paddle. He's like, man, that's amazing. You're playing Islam. I said, yeah. I said, look, I actually think paddle's a part of business development. Like, I think I can play during the day and say this is part of work. And he's just looking at me like, I said, because we're generating business, we're talking business, there's opportunities that are coming. Yeah. And this is where I actually think paddle has taken over from golf as the corporate sport. It is definitely, especially in the UAE, it definitely has.
I totally agree, to be honest.
Like, even socially, my wife, so I've been living in Dubai for 4 years, right? The first year, I made a couple of friends. My wife struggled mightily to find friends, which is very normal when you move to a new country. So when she started playing paddle, she actually met his wife, which they're now pretty much best friends, and even his wife Mesa, and then even your wife, they all met on the paddle court.
Yeah.
And then that's actually how now all of a sudden we literally see each other every day, sometimes every couple of days. So even for people that just want to find their own community, or they want to find, friends or like-minded people, paddle's the way we go.
The great thing about paddle, and we kind of touched on it, is that it's so accessible, right? Like, if you've never held the racket in your life, like soccer, you got to have a bit of coordination. Basketball, people don't want to do that now, especially if they're in their late 20s, 30s, whatever.
Yeah.
Or if they're young, right? If they're not good at it, they just switch off. But paddle, you can just grab a racket, get on the court, and just have fun. That's how you kick off.
Speaking of accessible, also out of curiosity, you guys played paddle up in Spain, wasn't it?
Yeah. We played.
How did you find it in Spain?
I mean, Spain, it's in their blood, to be honest. Like, they grow up playing paddle in Spain.
Well, the best paddle players in the world are mostly Spanish, especially the women's.
Yeah,
women's side. Most of the players are either Spanish or Argentinian.
Spanish and Argentinian.
Similar courts? Everything exactly the same, or?
Look, UAE spoils us. So the UAE, Dubai, Abu Dhabi is amazing, right? Like, the courts here are so clean, again, well maintained, very good facilities. Spain, there are courts everywhere, but again, it's a very local sport. So you'll go to your local neighborhood, there's just paddle courts, right? Like, here you have a park.
It's more outdoor.
It's outdoor.
I noticed a couple of things I noticed as well was it was sandier.
Okay.
They like to slide.
They like the slides, yeah.
So
So
they
it wasn't
enjoyed the
like
slide.
it is here. It's more of a...
much more sandier. So,
Okay.
I think Shaher, one of the games, actually slid under the
I
net.
slid all the
slid
way
right through.
How you
I
did
got
it?
the ball, and I was like, yes, and then I kept going under the net. So I lost the point because I touched the net.
You could have given him the point.
And they're very skill-centric. Like, I
Very
think
technical.
I hardly saw any we smash a lot down here, right?
Yeah.
Or at least I do anyway. I think they were just
So
shocked.
Steph smashes. I mean, you guys will get to know Steph. He's got one of the best smashes, probably
It's gonna hit you.
A
though.
level
Just- we-
smash to without tooting his horn too much. But yeah, it's
already got a big-
Thanks, mate. I'll record. This is recorded,
Hey,
right?
he'll take it. It's not going to be edited out.
Can't deny the smash, right? But they were like
only the
shocked
smash?
whenever he's.
That's a low blow, man. So you got to smash Steph, nothing else. According
It's
to
okay,
Shaher.
guys.
Keep that in
Yeah, I
the.
said can't deny the smash. But anyway, so when he smashes, even in Spain, which is they're very technical, so they were shocked. They like couldn't believe the smash, and they just didn't know how to return it.
Yeah,
Like, they
because
couldn't
they're
work their
not
heads.
used to seeing it.
Yeah.
Actually, do you remember the two players we played? He was actually laughing at his partner, kept getting hit
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
set. He was actually laughing at him, and he kept saying, "Go that way."
He's trying to
And then
tell
he
what
hit
to
him,
do.
right?
Yeah, I kept going for him.
Now, the crazy thing in Spain, what was interesting, courts are like €10 an hour.
that's
man.
going to ask you,
Like,
what is
we're
the cost
paying-
of it?
So
I think we
inexpensive.
paid €350 per person in one court. The most expensive court was €750, I think, per person,
7.5.
which was in Seville. Yeah, €7.50
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's so cheap because again, it's part of the culture there. I mean,
Yeah.
Per person or for the court?
per person, so
Still.
it's like €20.
But don't forget, but their courts, they're just courts.
very local,
Like
yeah.
you come here, cafes,
Yeah.
Pilates,
Showers,
ice baths,
yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
but it's starting,
You know.
right? So you guys were mentioning, I mean, I haven't been back to Oz in a few months, but you guys were mentioning how popular it's become. Musti's getting asked to play. I'm heading back to Australia in a couple of weeks. And I've got like 3, 4, 5, 6 messages. Hey, Ali, want to play paddle? Hey, my mate wants to play paddle, because they see us posting things online after we play
Yeah.
on Mondays or we play matches. And everyone wants to take us out. Everyone wants to, I've been playing for 6 months. I've been playing a year. I'm going to.
Yeah,
So
no,
even from.
it's growing. So Australia, they're starting to hear about it, right? Like, I mean, Europe is where paddle was in South America. It's always been there. I think Middle East, UAE, Qatar, Saudi, it's growing like crazy.
Yeah.
Australia is starting to move on paddle. What
Well,
did
it's
you guys
funny
notice when you
because
went?
they're asking me to bring them back rackets. Like that's like the problem
There
we
you
had
go.
here right at the beginning.
Interesting.
Is now starting over there. They're
Right.
like, oh, can you get us the Tapia Knox racket or the Adidas?
Interesting.
Well, we're
Bell
spoiled for
type
choice,
rackets
right? We're
and-
spoiled for
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
Every paddle court that we go to, we got like 10 to 20 options.
Exactly.
And sometimes they're discounted. We can grab them online. Like we're actually overloaded with options now.
Yeah, that's
So,
right.
But you think we're overloaded? Then you go to Spain, and then they have paddle sections as well. But then
Yeah.
there's all these other brands. Like
Yeah.
there's so many options.
Wow, okay.
Because they've been around for so long.
and
I
all
remember you bought
different
shoes
prices
from
as
there.
well.
That the grip was phenomenal.
And
You
those-
had to stop wearing them because they had so much grip.
They were incredible. And there was brands I hadn't heard of. So even in the rackets and shoes but they were just so comfortable. So
and
I
how's
think
the
it's only
atmos-
growing.
How's the atmosphere in Oz?
So I just came back a few weeks ago. So I remember going back in December, and most of my friends that were tennis players, I said, let's play a game of paddle because we found a court that was open. And, if you've had any racquetball experience, tennis, squash, you normally pick it up pretty quickly. So we played, and I introduced them to the sport. And, they had a couple of hits. And I said, yeah, it's not bad, but I don't think we'll play it again. They went back to tennis. I came back 2 weeks ago, so now 6 months later, and they are playing almost 5 days a week of paddle tennis.
Wow.
That's
Actually,
how addictive it is.
That's how you
my
start.
own brother-in-law is sometimes playing 3 games a day.
Wow.
Wow. And
Wow.
how do they find the time? That's what I want to know. How are they doing it all?
He's still trying to figure it out.
We're working it out.
But that's what happens with paddle, right? You fall in love, so everything
get into
sort
it.
of goes here, and then paddle.
You'll always find time for it. You'll fit it in your day somehow.
It's like our podcast. My wife's like, oh, where are you going? You can't play paddle. You're injured. I go, I'm doing a paddle podcast. She goes, oh, my God.
we had a dinner
If you
book,
can't play,
and he mentions me. He's like, "Did you tell the women that we were going to dinner tonight?" I was like, "Oh crap!"
The only thing missing is a paddle themed restaurant, so that we can also go there and watch paddle on the TV or something.
yeah, that'll be amazing.
But by the way, can I make a shout out? Obviously, ZY is an amazing paddle paddle
sponsor
player.
us
You know.
first.
Hey, hold on.
So ZY, can you personally sponsor me?
Just as they sponsor you.
I'll give you a shout out.
Used to be there, show us the money first, and then we'll start shouting out.
So if you want to join our podcast, by the way, that's a different sponsorship. But that said, the court you play on Monday night and the place you play is an incredible facility.
It is.
I didn't notice the chandelier are paddle rackets. Did you notice that when you walk in?
No, I didn't notice.
I didn't notice that,
Wait,
no.
in the corridor?
See, when you're injured, you'll notice these things.
Did you
right?
say yes and then say no?
No, because in Paddle Town they've got this massive paddle racket in the corner. It's
Yes.
like it's like a It's like a massive monument, right? And it's one string from the roof, and the paddle racket is like as big as this studio.
Are you talking about on the paddle courts or inside?
No, inside the reception, there's a chandelier of like 10, 15 paddle rackets with lights through them. It's lighting up the chandelier. You don't notice. And then when you go upstairs to the cafe, so I'm sitting there watching you guys, the
Steph had a lot of time on his hands yesterday.
Well, the funny thing is, I promised my wife a night out, so I took her to watch.
I noticed that upstairs, and I'm like, man, how do you give it to her?
Makes it easier when your son plays.
This is what I mean when I say we're paddle obsessed, guys. It always comes back to paddle somehow. We're always either talking about it or we're doing something.
Well, we bought our daughters on Sunday, right?
Yeah,
we literally bought our daughters
to play Sunday morning, and the only way I could play is to bring my daughter with me.
I'll know how obsessed you are. The level of obsession goes like this. How many paddle WhatsApp groups do you have?
I have about 7 or 8.
I'll probably have the worst, man.
I was going to say, it's definitely Shaher. Whenever I sit in the car with this bloke, it's just paddle. I'm like, bro, who do you join these groups?
I literally receive daily texts. Ali, can you play? Ali, can you play? Ali, can you play?
I've got a bunch of people on my phone, a name and then paddle. Just because if we need a backup, I just type paddle and all these people come up with a name.
When you get better, you'll start getting messages like, I want a rematch, not can you play?
Okay, no worries. No worries. Don't worry about me and Shaher have had one good practice together. Couple of more practices, it's game over for you and whoever your partner is.
So who was your partner before that?
So
how many partners do you have to go through?
You're sitting right here, man.
I haven't been a consistent player. You guys are coached and playing daily.
Well, let's touch on the sensitive topic. How difficult is it when you start off as a group and levels change?
Very difficult.
Right?
Very hard.
And then your group grows, right? And then someone organizes a game. All right. Is it etiquette to put it on the big group that I've invited and I'm playing, or do you just go and play? Because for me, I think it's a lose-lose. If you put it on the group, they're like, why didn't you invite me? If you don't put it on the group, why didn't you tell me? What's the etiquette of it?
There is no etiquette. It's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, you're screwed, mate.
That's it. So you can lose friendships in paddle based on levels. So if you guys want to keep your friends, you all should improve at the same level.
Yes,
that's how you keep your friendships.
I think I've lost the most.
I think to keep the game enjoyable, you all have to be the same level.
Yeah,
honestly,
100%.
one person can really change the dynamic of the game. If they're too good, even like they'll just destroy you. You know. And if they're bad, it just slows the game down a lot. So definitely, if you want to have a good game, you got to have.
But how do you reckon you get better? Is it by playing people that are better than you? Like, put aside coaching and stuff, is it playing people that are better than you, or is it making sure that we're all at the same level?
No, I think honestly, when you start playing with the same group every single week, you will just memorize the play, right? And you'll be ready for the play. You got to play with different people. That's how you'll improve. And okay, they can be slightly better, but once there's a particular level, I don't know where, but they just start destroying you, then you know you're a bit too far, you know. But you got to play with different people because everyone has a different playing style.
Everyone has a different technique.
And you got to learn to defend against the different playing styles and attack against different playing styles as well. That's the only way to improve.
But see, this is part of the obsession why we fell in love with it, right? Because you get to a certain level and it's like, okay, I feel like I'm better than Steph, which I am, just for everyone's sake. And then, then you play.
Sorry, who sponsors you?
No, yeah, we're getting there. I'm just organizing some things behind the scenes to get sponsored. I'm just, anyway. And then what happens?
Don't tell them about that yet.
And then what happens? You play against other players, and you're like, oh, I'm not good against left-handers. Oh, I'm not good against someone that has a really strong volley. Oh, I'm not good against someone that can lob it to the sky. So then all of a sudden you're like,
need to practice
I'm not as good. So I have to start practice and get better. And then if you reach that level, then you play against someone better.
And then you'll get to a level where you can play with someone injured and still lose, right? Like,
well,
you know.
Well, I mean, Shaher,
let's be honest.
Shaher almost lost the leg. There was no hamstring left. And
we
it's out on the paddle court, right?
And me and Shaher still beat you two, right?
Yeah, your
don't throw me under the bus. I wasn't there. I never got invited to that game, guys.
It got so bad that Youssef is still holding a grudge till now because I told him off once in a 2-hour game. He told me time.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, this is how his wife feels all the time. He really told me off.
Etiquettes again. How do you feel when you actually stuff up a ball and then you have Shaker going like this with his hand, right? Doesn't look at you, just goes like this and walks. Like, how does it make you
Shaker's
feel?
not happy. I was like, man, I need to get the next point because if I don't, Shaker's going to be really upset.
I like Ali. I like the new Ali, to be honest, because before Ali, any ball he misses, he'd just be like, "Sorry, man," and then he'd go, and then "Sorry, man." It's like, man, stop saying sorry. Just play the game. So he's sort of gone to the other side.
He's
now.
never
He's
apologized
like,
to
what
me.
are you doing?
He
It's-
never
it's my wife's
apologized.
I like it
fault.
though. Good job.
She doesn't let me scream at her anymore, so I'm going to take her to someone else. Man.
Speaking of winning and losing, yesterday we had a tournament. Was it yesterday? Monday we had a
Monday,
tournament
yeah.
a couple nights ago, and after we tallied up everything, and Ali's like, "Yes, I won," and then Shaher's like, "This doesn't make sense." So Shaher tallied it up correctly, and Ali went from first to fifth. Literally,
It was
Sorry, man.
they recounted
Sorry
about
about
7 times. They found every loophole in the score. They changed it from points to wins, from wins to draws. I
I
don't know what
really
you
wanted
guys
you
did.
to have it, man, but I just couldn't. And it was a
alright.
mistake. It was a mistake.
The worst part is I was actually giving it to Ali saying, look, I'm not playing. You might get a chance to win now. Right, he goes,
right.
guaranteed I'm going to win. I think that made it worse for
It's
you.
$8,000 I'm gonna win.
I actually sent him a message before the match. I'm like, Steph, I feel good. I had a great tournament with Shaher. I played good on Sunday. I'm
do it.
taking it out tonight. And me and Shaher started off 6-1 on fire and then up and down the rest of the time.
You always get that one annoying person on the group that just starts hammering, right?
So what we're doing, guys, we're doing an Americano, right? Which is, for people who don't know, it's when you can do it with 4 people even. It's just when you rotate partners. Usually you'll do it with 8 or more players. So every game you'd play up to 6 or a time limit, and then you'd rotate players. So you get to play with every partner once against a different team. And it kind of makes it a bit fair because we thought about joining it as teams initially. So you have four teams of 2, but we thought let's just keep it rotational so that we have a bit of a fair, and then you win based on the number of wins or the number of points.
Yeah, but what's nice about it is we always have people rotating in and out, right? So
Yeah.
if some people can't make it. So for example, on Monday we had Youssef from ZY, different playing style, right?
Correct.
Likes to smash a lot more, has a nice forehand, backhand. So that's how
You
It
also
is
learn
good.
from that as well. Like you were saying, you play with different
And
styles.
we try to get people with, again, the same level or a bit of like a higher level almost, not too much again, just so that you can play and experience. And again, it's competition, right? We'll play for 2 hours and we'll see who...
It was
And
about,
that's
it was
how
about
it
2.5 hours.
And that's our social group, right?
That's a social, yeah.
We're talking about how to improve. So Americano is great. It's not a fixed partner type structure. So because a lot of people play very well with a certain partner and then others don't have partners. So it makes it quite fair. But I think when you're talking about, like, what I noticed for me where my game changed is we were always playing socially together. So it's same play. You get used to the same thing on repeat. I then added, I think you still got to stay loyal, still stay with your group, which we do, still do Mondays.
Yeah.
Then I added doing competitions. And you start learning different styles, different people, much better people. You play worse people. And I felt like that then, so you always try to pick a higher standard to keep pushing yourself. I think that changed my game, that helped me. But you still want to keep the fun social element. So I still think having your original group is still fun. That's why I enjoy the Monday nights.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Yui,
exactly.
what would you recommend to someone that wants to start playing paddle? So someone listening to this podcast the first time, if they wanted to get into paddle, how would you recommend that they get into it?
I think you need to find a group of boys that you're playing with, number one. But like I'll tell you from personal experiences, I dropped off for a little bit. So you need to be consistent. You need to be able to play at least once a week, because we know, everyone knows firsthand that once you jump on the paddle wagon, and then if you stop for a minute, it's almost like you're starting again.
Yeah.
And then you got to pick up again. So I think it's just about that consistency. Find a group of boys that you can start practicing with, potentially get, some coaching
and
lessons
that
done.
happens even if you're good, even if you're playing
Yeah.
like 3-4 times a week and you stop for a couple of months and you get back into it.
Well-
Whether it's through injury or you're just busy.
Like
you
we've
just start over.
got Steph's son Ali. He's probably one of the greatest players. Honestly, he's got a tennis background, but he's fantastic when it comes to paddle. And I remember he stopped for a little bit of period of time, and he came back and he was struggling
Took
for
him a
like
while, like 2 months,
him
3 months to just get back into it.
Even till now, I still think he was still better back then before the break. It's just taken a little while.
Yeah.
But here's my question to you. Maybe we can ask it around. As a new paddle player that's getting introduced to the sport, do you play socially first or do you go straight to coaching?
Oh, good
That's a
question.
good question.
If it's me personally, you should play socially first. Play with the wrong technique, hit it over your head, okay, backwards, hit it off the glass when you're not supposed to, hit it into the net, smash, make mistakes. Fall in love with the game first and then worry about technique, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, I definitely agree with Ali. However, don't underestimate coaching, or not even coaching. Don't underestimate playing with people who know what they're doing, because when they do, like, it's just those small shifts, those small changes that you do, and all of a sudden you start hitting things a lot better. I remember I never got coaching, but I remember Shaher telling me, when you're hitting, just slice. He did some movement. I was like, all right, I'll try that, and by him doing that, I was hitting the fence a little bit higher. I was getting it.
I think definitely just play the game. Just get into it first. Don't buy the expensive rackets and shoes and all that kind of stuff. Just get into it first. Start having some games. Once you start enjoying it, that's when you can start, getting some of the stuff, because, shoes are super important in my opinion for stuff. And that's when you start getting more competitive. The coaching is great if you want to tweak some of your hits, right? Like if you want to get a bandeja, if you want to do that, like you want to start improving really one of your shots or learn a completely new shot that you just don't know how to start, that's where coaching comes in. But you just got to enjoy the game first, then start getting into more competitive.
Guys, I'm going to be the first one to admit I didn't follow any of these steps. I bought the most expensive racket. I broke it straight away. I think I changed
You
like
didn't
7
break
rackets.
one. You've broken the number of rackets.
Yeah, I think maybe about 7 rackets within the first year. I couldn't even hit a ball. Like it was.
I think the first racket you broke was because you chucked on the ground from anger for hitting it out.
Yes.
No. It was chucked on the ground.
The worst part of paddle is when you want to break the racket, it's the string is around your wrist and you're like,
He's never worn a string.
I'm going to break my wrist, so I can't smash this.
I think that's the most thing I get told off about the most is put the string around your wrist. Especially when I'm smashing the ball, they're all like worried where the racket's going to end up. But let me tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I've hurt a few people, but a majority of the times I've hurt myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember once Steph was playing and you were with us, and and someone else was playing with him, and he got frustrated, and he was probably halfway through the court, and he just piffed his racket against the fence.
Steph or the guy?
Steph did. We're like, what the hell? And it was like he was frustrated, mate.
Steph, be honest. How many people have walked off the court halfway through the game or towards the end of the game because of your crap talking, almost hitting them with the paddle racket, definitely hitting them with the ball, injuring them? There's got to be at least 5 or 10.
Maybe 4 or 5.
There's about 4 or 5.
So
How many paddle courts are you banned from?
No, 1 or 2. But it was never my fault.
Of course, it was never his fault.
You're in a game.
He's
You're in a
playing a
game.
game.
I'll give you one example. You're in a game. It's a comp. You register for the comp, and it's a mixed comp. I didn't know it was mixed, right? Because you just put your name in and you go. So you're playing a competition. You're in the finals, and there's someone of the opposite sex playing you, right? But it's open for anyone. What do? Do you not smash the ball to win? And you know me, when I smash, I can aim for an area, but my aim isn't perfect. It's gonna
You're going for power.
I just go for power and hope they don't return.
And this is for when you first, like when you were early
this
days,
is still
wasn't it?
earlier as well.
It was in the early days.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I knock a person in the shin. The ball was in, right? Hit the shin, and
Person was a female, or
it was a female. And I remember it's like time froze, and she just looked at me, dropped her racket, and just walked off. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm so sorry. I always apologize though. I'm like, if I hit someone, I might be happy that I won the point, but I'll always apologize.
was it full power?
It was full like it was hard, right?
Oh, you won the game, right? That's the
We won.
That's all that matters.
Anyway,
Well,
walked out and went
disqualification.
straight to the reception desk and put a complaint in. Come back, I said, look, I'm really sorry, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, and then the organizer of the tournament nicely said, look, please, don't come back. I thought he was joking. So the following Friday, I registered on the WhatsApp. I put my name. And then they said, we need to get approval. We'll come back to you. And I'm like, I've never had that before. Normally it's just accepted. 2 minutes later, I get a phone call saying, look, we don't think it suits your style playing with us. How is that my fault? No, honestly. So my question then goes to you, if any female male decides to play in a competition, do you then not target them and aim for the other side with a less of a shot that could win you the point? What would you do?
Fair game. Go as hard as you possibly can.
Especially in a
Youssef?
comp.
Listen, I agree with you. If it's a social between like couples, probably not. Even though I
still
think
goes
you,
for it.
I think you hit my wife a couple of times.
I hit my own wife.
That's true. That's true.
He doesn't discriminate.
So in fairness,
discriminate.
it doesn't discriminate. It's across the board. Family, no family, friends. Or
I
not.
disclosed it from the start. When I'm on the court, I don't know no one.
There's no family on the court, mate.
Yeah,
no family on the court. No, look, it's interesting. I think that was the first court you got banned from, but you've been okay since then.
The second case was competition, Motor City. I smash a ball, a tall guy, not as tall as you, Ali, but tall, runs forward and smacks him on the ear and starts bleeding.
Oh, no way. I didn't even know
I
about
hear
this.
about this one.
Yeah,
I felt really bad, right? I know. I'm like, I'm really sorry. He took it very. He's like, no, it's not your fault. It's my, anyway, he couldn't finish the game, so we won. And he came up, but you feel bad. But what do you do? Like, so you keep telling me my style is to smash. Like, I like smash. Most of them go in. Don't get me wrong. I get a lot out, but I like to think most of them go in. Anyway, that was the second time. Most of the other injuries are on myself.
Yeah.
I broke my nose with my own racket, with my own hand, tore a calf muscle,
This is a
done
great
2
story.
meniscus tears, hurt my shoulder,
Didn't he hit knee once with the racket?
smacked my knee with the racket. I've smacked every part of my body with a racket, right? So it's fair to say I've hurt myself more than I've hurt others.
Look, styles make matches, right? If everyone's going to play the same style, it's not fun. That's what makes paddle fun, right? Someone's a smasher, someone's a good volleyer. Youssef's okay. Shaher is a
Thanks, buddy.
you know,
All right, Alex.
Youssef is so quick around the court that he can't get a winner. You know, Shaher's got his own style, lobs. You know, a bit more. What's the word I'm looking for?
At the net, Viboras. Keep going, man. Keep going, yeah. Net, Vibora play.
So more consistent, right?
Yeah.
So everyone's got their different style, but that's what makes it fun. Because if I'm always playing against someone that plays the same style, I'm not going to get better.
So you got
So I
styles
actually
of play?
I generally enjoy, even though your smashes are very hard, and I might be lucky to return 1 out of 10 if I somehow make it to them. Most of the time they bounce out, right? But it's such that challenge of, can I get that smash? Can I, because you want to improve yourself, right? That's the whole point.
But honestly speaking, you guys now, I've watched you play other people. Anyone could smash a ball and you'll all return it from the amount of times that we've played together.
honestly,
become
He's
easier.
actually
I've
said
become
that
pretty
a
good at
couple
returning.
times. He said
Wait.
we can return everyone's
because of
smashes
you.
because of Steph's.
Because
I
of you.
can return any smash from anyone thanks to playing
Yeah,
against
yeah.
Steph, because honestly his smashes are like top tier, like
Yeah.
top level. And we've,
you hear that,
we've
Ali?
learned
No,
how
but
to
I
return.
agree.
We've learned how to return the smash off of Steph's smashes. So honestly, people think they're amazing smashing. They smash the ball, and mate, we just pick it up like.
And
any
Steph
of
is not
us,
smashing as
honestly.
much because we're getting to him. He's had to change his style up.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I did.
no, no,
He
yeah,
did
yeah,
change his
Change
style up.
now.
100%, I did.
And we're also working out not to give him a nice easy lob.
Correct.
And then he's like smashing from the back. But anyway.
I give perfect lobs, like straight to him. And the
bro,
guy
no
looks at
lie.
me, he's like,
No wonder I
Ali's
screamed at
like,
him.
what are you doing?
Do you want to kill us? Yeah.
But Ali's comments to you have changed. So before it was about the lobs, then it was about when you do the good ball, you hit straight down the
Oh,
line and
that's
then
the
they get
worst.
returned.
Oh, and that's the worst. You hits a perfect shot down the line. You're like, that's a guaranteed point.
He'll pick it
And
up.
then Musti
Someone picks it
somehow
up.
gets it off the
Someone
glass
picks it
and
up.
just continues the point. And that's paddle, right? Always one more point. Try to get the next player to hit one more shot, because that extra shot could be the difference between them making an error and you winning the point. And that's also the beauty of the sport, right? If you're quick, you can play. If you're short, some of the best paddle players, Chingo and I forgot his name.
Galan.
No, the shorter ones. They're amazing. And then you got the bigger ones. Okay. You got,
That's how Ali
Totally.
just the shorter ones, the bigger ones, the
Short,
left-hander
tall.
ones, the
I'm
right-hander
going to say
ones.
their name
But
wrong.
everyone's short compared
to
to
me.
you, man. Like,
That's fair.
So everyone except you.
Well, have you seen Tolito, the one that does the amazing, fake
the
smashes?
freestyle shots.
He doesn't look
Yeah,
like
that
an
guy's
athlete.
He's
amazing.
fantastic.
Yeah.
The amazing part. So most sports, you can tell someone's an athlete. When I look at a basketball player, I can tell from the size of his legs, from his build, from his arms, from the way he moves. Soccer, very similar. You can tell Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi are soccer players or athletes.
They
With
look
the paddle
fit.
players, half the time you can't even tell, but they are such great athletes. That's what makes it a beautiful sport.
Ronaldo just opened the biggest paddle center in Portugal.
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, you said this before. All athletes now play paddle for fitness
Yeah.
as part of their training routines. Like Mo Salah and the Liverpool team, I see him play often. A lot of the tennis players or ex-tennis players play. So it's actually become like a fitness routine as part of
No, but what's the
professional
most
players'
underrated
fitness,
part of
which is
paddle?
amazing.
The people don't talk about this. Everyone looks at the smashes, the arm strength, the technique. the footwork is the main difference between you being a great paddle player and an average paddle player. So you always got to be on your toes.
Every
you
time
always
I'm
gotta
going
be
back for a
moving.
smash, Ali's like, small steps, small steps.
Well, that's the thing, right? Because, like, for example, you ball up and coming off the wall, sidewall, so then you got to spin. You know, you might think it's going into the middle for a Bahaja, might go to the other side, so then you got to switch over to volley. So it's actually great for all types of sports for footwork.
Okay, so going back to my question, the original question we started with, guys, that's how much we love paddle. We can talk about anything, right?
We can relate anything to paddle.
But I'm going to go back for the new starters.
Yes.
Coached, as non-professionals that just take up paddle for a social.
Look,
what is your opinion?
Okay, if you're a kid, coaching from the beginning, I think is great because you're fresh slate, you don't have any bad tendencies. For someone that's a little bit older, look, coaching can be quite expensive. It's going to be hard to find a good coach.
Yeah.
And also, if the coach keeps pointing out all of your errors, you're probably going to get turned off. So I think if you're a bit older than age, so maybe in your 20s and above, play socially for at least 6 months, then start looking at coaching.
But buy some good gear, like you
Yeah, of
said.
course.
Like get yourself
Now
some
invest.
shoes, get yourself a racket, get yourself some comfortable clothes because you're going to enjoy
Look,
it.
if you're going to invest in bad basketball shoes for a basketball player or bad soccer shoes or bad shin pads, you're going to injure yourself.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
don't go and play. Don't make the mistake that I made. Or I played in Asics paddle tennis for about 2 years and I hurt my knee.
We all
that's
made
the
that
worst.
mistake.
Yeah, you don't realize, right, till someone tells you or you start using your brain. So buy a decent paddle racket. Don't spend 2,000, 3,000 like Musti here, you know, that's, you know, likes the finer things in life. Spend a reasonable amount on a decent paddle racket, get some decent shoes, and everything else just doesn't have to spend too much.
We'll answer your question. I think we all are in agreement. Just get into the game, start playing, enjoy it. Once you start getting more competitive, again, you can get into the
build up
coaching,
to it.
right?
Start working on your different types of skills.
So-
like myself, I don't get coached. I did a couple of sessions, but
That's what he tells everyone. He
It
doesn't get
actually
coached.
put me off.
We've actually caught him coaching before.
I wish. I actually get put off because I have a very unorthodox style. Probably from squash, I use a lot of wrist from volleyball.
Yeah.
Actually, you said that before. You said that earlier. Like the coach, you were playing with a coach once, and he tried to change some of your movements, but it didn't work for you. You actually went better back to the unorthodox
Well, you can
approach.
play with your mind, right?
So no, what happens? I went backwards.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
They're saying don't use your wrist. Don't use your wrist. Paddle's not about wrist. Paddle's about the swing, the movement, not about wrist. And I actually felt my game went backwards. So I think finding the right type of coach is important as well.
Yeah.
Don't just because he's a paddle coach. There's different styles, right?
Yeah.
So I think, like you said, if you're young, you're starting out, you can do these things. But if you're playing socially and there's moves that work for you, I think stick to it.
Yeah.
So I think let's bring it back to the podcast a bit, guys. So what can everyone listening to the podcast expect from us in these podcasts? Right? I mean, we spoke a lot of things about getting into paddle, how we got into it, how it's growing in the world, in the UAE, and we spoke about Australia a bit. But like things that, you know, we want to cover in this podcast, which hopefully you guys can, you know, get into, is we'll give a lot of tips and tricks. I think that's one of our kind of points that we want to cover, tips and tricks about paddle, all the upcoming sort of paddle locations, best paddle spots to play. What else are we gonna, you know, talk to our audience about?
I think the main thing is we're going to keep it real for you.
Yeah.
We're going to let you know from first-hand experience what we learnt, what we saw, what we think works, what doesn't work, and you're just going to have hopefully a good time enjoying our journey on how we got to where we got to, how I got to get sponsored. You know, where you can go in your paddle career, I think.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just for 18, you know, I'm 43, right? And I feel like I'm starting to play some of my best paddle, and then I'm now getting injured left, right, and center. So,
Unfortunately,
so we'll keep it real for you. We'll tell you what to be careful from, what to watch out from, and what works, what doesn't work.
We'll see.
Some of the best locations to play.
Yeah. So I was going to touch on that. So from my perspective, I want it to be keep you guys up to date on the latest players. So as we start doing more of these podcasts, you know, maybe once a month we'll analyze, because there's normally 2 tournaments a month. We'll just briefly analyze, you know, the winners and losers, what we saw, what some of the players can do better, who the up and comers are. Plus, also, you know, as we go along, we'll get some current paddle owners.
I think that's
for some of the paddle courts.
that's the important part, is getting the perspective from what's happening on the ground as well. We're going to have some pretty amazing guests come on, and just to get their perspective of what paddle's done to their life or their career, or, you know, some of the people that have started it off in the UAE and it's grown and it's gone abroad.
Also, maybe we'll be getting some owners on so we can see how they made their paddle successful. maybe for up and coming people who want to, like, we've been talking for the last 6 months about finding our own paddle court, right? But obviously, as you guys know, it's not that easy, it's not that simple, finding a right location and whatnot. But I think from, anything to do with paddle and just, fall in love with it like us, Suhi, like track the main players, because if you can't play, you can watch, right? A lot of people don't play soccer, don't play basketball, don't play NRL, but they watch it. So maybe we can help guide people about what to look for, some of the strategies with the main players, plus also paddle gear as well. Which are the best brands, which is the for your
review
level.
some of the gear, all your essentials, the different playing styles, the different shots of paddle. But I think, like you guys said, also special guests. Like we're hoping to have some special guests, and we'll see how it goes.
And more importantly, taking it back to how we started off this podcast, is we're just 4 ordinary blokes who love paddle.
It's about the love of the game.
I think if you have a look at majority of the people that play paddle, they're exactly like us 4 here, and they want to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So today's 4 special guests is us.
Yeah, that's right.
So stay tuned. I think whether they're celebrities that we get to play with. Shaher and I got to play with Pogba once. That was tiring. And he was actually playing for fitness. So we did an hour and a half inside in the middle of summer in Dubai. It was July or August. When temperatures are really high and the UV is really high, humidity is high. And then he said, okay, now let's play outside.
Wow.
Well, let's say why. Because we beat him.
Yeah.
Right? Sorry, Pogba, if you ever listen to this, when we beat him, they wanted to keep going. They needed the court. It's like, let's play outside. We played them, we still beat him.
We still beat him. But
was he a good player?
He was actually pretty good.
Good,
we were going all out. Shadow, we were going all out. He was just fit. Like I got off the court for someone that plays quite regularly and thinks he's paddle fit. I was on the ground.
Yeah.
Like I literally lied on the ground.
Soaking.
Our tops, if you actually squeezed them, like sweat was coming down from it. So hopefully we'll start bringing some of those
we can
guests.
get, maybe as we grow, maybe we can get some of the good players on, some of the up and comers, some of the coaches who can also give some tips. Maybe they can guide some of our listeners or podcast viewers that are going to watch us on YouTube. Maybe where they can start, if once you get to a certain level, maybe you change to this style of coach. So I think we'll provide an accurate and a broad understanding of paddle.
We've definitely got a lot of big aspirations for this show, and hopefully, we achieve them all, and you guys join us on that journey.
And some special announcements, like my big rematch, me and Islam versus Chris Fade.
And we'll update the results of every Americano. Yes. So if I win, I'll come with a special medal. I'll come with a special hat. Maybe we'll put a little plaque up. Just keep track of the year, and at the end of the year. We'll see.
You better do it now while I'm not playing, yeah?
Well, they're going to wait for you to come back. Otherwise, it's not fair. Then it's an unfair advantage.
I won that Americano last week, guys. So these guys. Steph wasn't playing.
Somebody got paid off. I don't want to say who got paid off. Might be the host of this podcast sitting right opposite me, because the score was one thing, and then by the time I got home, it was something else.
I was still injured last week as well. I'm still getting back into it. But you want to spend
these are the excuses, right?
30 seconds maybe. Just tell us about this big rematch. This has been interesting. You said Chris Fade and Islam.
So for those that listen to Virgin Radio or the Chris Fade show, he made a statement. So me and Chris
sponsor us, by the way.
Chris Fade from Virgin Radio, one of probably the most listened to Aussies in Dubai. He was actually on the Today Show this morning in Australia.
In Australia,
with Carl,
Nice.
Promoting, and they were showing Dubai, which was amazing. Anyway, Chris and I normally play. We're partners, but one day I get a call from Islam, the UFC champion. Undefeated champion. And saying, let's play paddle. I want to play. I heard you play.
You thought it was a prank, right? When you first got that call, you didn't think it was real.
To be honest, he said he wanted to play, and I thought, does he really want to play? And he's like, okay, let's play tonight. I'm like, no, because
you got to book.
Let's organise it tomorrow. I've got to book it, right?
Because you got to book these superstars from advance normally, right? Like at least a month before normally.
He's got to give me notice.
They're calling him. He's the paddle guru now.
They're all coming to me now. No, anyway,
he's the paddle connection.
Is that what you guys are just? Is that what his photo is going to be on the logo of our podcast?
Guys, I think we need a bigger podcast studio. My head's not fitting in right now. Anyway, so I call up Chris. So Islam wanted to play. I said, Chris, do you want to play tomorrow? And he said, yep. Where we're playing, who we're playing. I said, no, but this time I'm not playing with you. He's like, why? I said, I'll explain tomorrow. I didn't tell him who was playing. So anyway, and I'm like, so I started stirring him up. I'm going to smash you. I'm going to do this. And he's replying back, but he's trying to work out what's going on. So he rocks up and he sees Islam and he's like, now I know why you're not playing with me. Now listen, if I hit Islam with the ball, it's not going to end pretty. So you know what? I'm going to play with him and you can play with your partner, which we have another friend called Fahad that we play socially. So we played and Islam and I, we won 2-0. Chris jumps on the radio and does a call out for a rematch and tells the audience that he only lost because he didn't want to target Islam.
Ooh, big talk. He's got to back it up. Come on, Chris.
So what I do after hearing that,
Of course
I
you did.
forwarded his clip to Islam and I said, he wants a rematch. And Islam, the funny story is when I told Islam we're playing Chris Fade, he goes, I smashed Chris Fade. I said, what do you don't know him, you haven't met him. No, I smashed him. He goes, look. So he brings up his phone on his fight record and he beat a guy called Chris Swade. I said, no, that's not him, it's Chris Fade. He goes, anyway, I'll smash him anyway. So I said, so Islam then returns and he goes, rematch is on and tell him I'll now smash him 3 times. So first was Chris Swade, then Chris Fade, and now the big rematch is on. So
And Chris is a big fan.
rematch is coming, mate.
Yeah.
Chris is a big fan of Islam, isn't he? Of MMA in general.
Yeah, he's a big fan of UFC, all types of sports. He launched Fade Fit and all these different things. So Chris is
I reckon when they're playing, we can do like a podcast on site there and we'll see how we go. Maybe we'll make a big scene of it.
Yeah, no. Awesome, guys. Well, look, thanks, everyone. Thanks, guys, for your time today. And this is, it was the inaugural kind of episode, and hopefully we'll have a lot more to come. So thanks, everyone, for watching, for listening. Make sure you follow, you like, you subscribe on all the different socials. You can follow us on Instagram, GameSetPadel Tennis. Okay, in one go, GameSetPadel Tennis. So follow us on Instagram, and we'll post all the other social channels very soon. Guys, thank you very much, and stay tuned for the next one.
But give us feedback. If you want us to talk about a specific topic or whatever it is,
Definitely.
please hit us up. Give us
Leave
that
your comments
feedback.
down below as well.
Yeah.
It'll just make a difference for what we're doing.
And I'll put up some of my videos of my games as well. So we'll share them as well.
And be sure he will.
Hey, they've got some good editing, some good music.
Thanks,
And I'll end
guys.
it there. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.